Okay. All right, we're gonna start our sessions very soon. Again, I'd like to say thank you to everyone, especially Trailblazers from Philippines. Thanks for your time. And it's a great sessions. And first of all, I would like to thank the Trailblazers community's leaders from Philippines for creating these sessions, for us to talk to meet up with these Salesforce, I would say trailblazers in Philippines. And for this round, we want to help. The aim of these sessions, is to have a webinar at the same time to share, to offer advices that you might need, that you can ask our panel session today. Regards to maybe your first career or your next Salesforce career move, because we hear from community leaders that there is a group of awesome Salesforce professionals are looking for their next Salesforce opportunities in Philippines. A lot of them is coming from a very good Salesforce background, just need us to assist and to seek some advice for all these. I don't like to use the word seasons. I would like to use the word experience, experienced trailblazers that can share with you some of the thoughts or some of the experience that you can leverage on, when coming to your next Salesforce career or you're landing your first career support. Again, I'd like to thank you, those who are joining our session today. This, for those who can't join or maybe join later, this session will be recorded and will be shared to your Trailblazer leaders, so you can post it at your communities. At the same time, I want to take these opportunities. This session is all about you. Those who are in our here, I want to emphasize this session is all about you and your next career journey. Our hope is to leave you today with a clear understanding of the next opportunity available or all the opportunities available for you, and learn how to try out this role, how you can reach out to this role, so you can stand out when you start applying your next Salesforce job. But just a quick reminder, I'll go back to this slide later. Just a quick reminder. If let's say you happen to making any Salesforce purchase decisions or anything that related to Salesforce product, please make sure when you make a decision is based on what currently available. Here today, our aim is to have a panel sessions, with some of these trailhead leaders in Philippines. I believe all of you might know these leaders. They are very experienced. They care about you. They care about your next Salesforce role. They care about you to be as part of Salesforce ecosystem. Today with us, we have Edwin Batista. He's from IBM. He's from IBM. And then he's one of the trailhead leader in Philippines. As well, we also have Ryan. My buddy Ryan. Currently, he's a Salesforce practice director in Capgem. We also have next one. We have Marvin. We have Marvin from Accenture. One of the rising star in Philippines. All right. And also we also have Nancy. Nancy from Third Pillar. She's joining us, and then she can share a bit about her experience in terms from HR point of view. Just now we have Trailblazers, Erwin, Trailblazer Ryan, Trailblazer Bonnie, who are gonna share with you their Trailblazer journey, at the same time what are the things that you can equip yourself for your next career. And Nancy, she'll be telling you what are the things as a recruiter, what are the things that they look into when coming to hiring these candidates. So without further ado, and looking at times, okay, these I would like to throw the first questions, okay, to everyone. For those who may be not aware of all these people, I would like to throw the questions so that they have a slight intro about themselves, on who are they and what they do. Let's start with Erwin. Okay, let's start with Erwin. Erwin, can you tell me what is your current role and
Hey,
where you are? Yeah, maybe.
Adrian, good afternoon, and good afternoon to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am currently a Salesforce consultant in IBM, and I am part of projects that we're delivering for one of the biggest financial institutions in the country. My role in the project team is a BA. So I think I found my niche in the Salesforce ecosystem with that role, but more on that later.
Okay, sure. All right. So next question, Ryan, tell the audience, who are you?
Hey, hi everyone. Good afternoon. So I guess this is by age, right, Erwin? So, and seeing familiar faces. So obviously Marvin is at the bottom, so the
No,
youngest.
I'm at the
But
bottom.
any
I have to refresh that. I'm at the bottom.
you are? So hi everyone.
No.
My name is Ryan. Well, simply put, I always tell people I'm a community volunteer. I'm a Salesforce advocate, and also I'm your big brother. But on the corporate side, I am the practice director for Salesforce for Capgemini, and I'm also the uh, how do you call this one? We have a business called Non-Financial Services. So I am the Philippine Center of Excellence head, for the Capgemini NFS business unit. And at the same time, what I do is I'll explain later, but mostly what I do is I groom, I scale up, and I make sure that we're able to grow Salesforce, not just in the Philippines but also in the region together.
Okay, thank you. So it comes to third one from my from my video here will be Nancy. Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Nancy. I'm the HR officer of Third Pillar. Just a bit of a background. I've been with Third Pillar for more than 5 years now. And ever since I've been, in charge of recruiting Salesforce professionals, and also focus on people management.
Great to hear that. Great to hear that. Thank you, Nancy. And lastly and not least, Marvin, you want to share a bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, Adrian. Thank you for inviting me on the event. It's very happy to see some common faces on the panel as well. Like what Ryan mentioned, we've worked for quite some time. And then Erwin, we just had an event last December. So yeah, hopefully just a quick plug to if you're interested in joining the community, do reach out to us on our Facebook page. But yeah, a bit about myself. I'm actually turning 13 years on Salesforce. I turned 13 years this year. And I have been doing a lot of Salesforce industries recently, working with different clients as I have my role here in Accenture, helping out some of the solution architecture type of work. On top of that, I also lead the Salesforce practice here in Cebu. So I've been here for like 4 years now. And there, really, really promising talent pool from this side. And I'm really enjoying it here just because it's really near to the beaches and a lot of good parties around here. And then lastly, just one of my roles is also being the Manila developer community group lead in Manila and trying to help out in Cebu here as well, trying to make that bigger. So that's me quickly. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you, Marvin. Guys, before I throwing more questions to our audience today, okay, so first, you happen to see in this screen here, okay, you see the QR code, okay, and also I just drop in this form to you, okay. As I said, this session is all about you, okay. to help you out to get to your next Salesforce role or your first Salesforce role. So the form I just shared with everyone is for those who are currently looking for next career, for next Salesforce career, or the first careers in terms of Salesforce ecosystem in Philippines. Please fill out this form. I just want to let you know what happens after you fill out the form. So this form will be shared to all the employers, okay, Salesforce employers who pledge to hire under the Talent Alliance initiative. So these partners, they are into hiring Salesforce talents, okay? Our Salesforce partners, Salesforce customers, anybody who are hiring for Salesforce talent, they will get this access, okay, from us, so that they can reach out to you to connect you for your next opportunities. Okay. The reason why we said it is because there's a wave of restructuring across the ecosystem at the moment. People are looking for opportunities, so we want to make sure that Salesforce professionals continue to be a trailblazers in our ecosystem. We want you to stick with us, grow with us, make an impact together as well. Okay. Being said that, please fill out this form. Then, if let's say you know that some of your peers has been affected in recent ecosystem changes, just ask them to, and they are exploring. They don't know where to explore, where to start with. They can start by filling out this form, okay? And Trailhead Talent Alliance can help. Not Trailhead, Salesforce Talent Alliance can help in terms of like connecting them with the opportunities. Though we are not recruitment companies, we don't do recruitment, but we can connect you with our partners and clients who are hiring. Okay. Being said that, I'm gonna ask the second questions. Okay. So now, I want to ask the first questions to Bonnie, right? Bonnie, I want to ask you. No, I think I should give Edwin, okay, because of some of the questions. Okay. I know that. Why you always give Bonnie the stuff? Okay, I have to be fair. Okay, Erwin, I have to start with you. Okay, tell me a bit. Okay, your role as a Salesforce consultant at your companies. Can you tell me like what does an average day look like for you? Because I know that some people like to manage people, but how about you? Do you like your work, and can you tell me a bit about what you do on daily basis?
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently a business analyst for several projects that we're doing. And my day starts out with me checking out how many unread emails I have and checking out my calendar for morning meetings, because I don't want to miss out on those morning meetings. Okay. Sometimes morning meetings can start as early as 9, so no time to read your emails. So after you've probably spend 30 minutes to an hour to plan out your day, you go about the tasks from yesterday, say items that you would need to clarify with business, to be able to clearly and accurately write out user stories, which eventually get relayed to our developer teams, who will then implement these requirements, this request in the Salesforce platform. Throughout the day, I'd have meetings with the devs. I'd have meetings with several stakeholders, with the goal really of making sure that we capture their requirement, and that we are able to set proper expectations of what can be done in the platform. So it's really me sitting in the middle of business and development. So I get the best of both worlds.
Great. So yeah, I think there's some similarity between your role and my role when talked about emails. Yeah, I think that most of us as well. How about you, Ryan? Ryan, as a Salesforce director in your companies, I mean, what are your daily look like? Are you like hanging on people, grabbing at the hat, hey, 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 like that? Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, first thing I have to do every day is to cook breakfast for my wife and son. No? That's non-negotiable. So then the day will be smooth. But more than that, I think a lot of us, no, in this level, of course, we work our way from doing development to business analyst to everything. No? But at the leadership level, we normally would read a lot of emails. No? Sometimes before you even get to start the day, you should have already read the emails. Even in other companies before, I would read emails as soon as I wake up. Like I wake up 6 or 7, I read all the emails. So by the time I get to start 8 or 9, I'm done already with all the responses. I'm notorious for sending a lot of emails, sending sometimes long emails. So Bonnie knows that. and and then of course, the most important thing that I get to do is to connect with people. You know? I would ping a lot of people. If there are some daily tasks, I get to go there and join in just to listen in. And contrary to a lot of people believe that when you're leading a team, you don't get to do the job. I get to do the job. I still do solutioning. I do estimation. I do SOW validation. I write SOWs. I also respond to some incidents and also some tickets, no? Both on the delivery side and also on the support side. And at the same time, what I like the most is just being there for the team. I normally would stop the day by checking on them if anyone can hang out after. That's what I love, no? Hanging out with people after office and at the same time checking with them, talking about non-work and once in a while partying. No? But of course, we don't age. We're just getting more experience. So that's a day in a life. It's quite lean, but a lot of people feel it's lean, but there's a lot of pressure as well. Pressure to grow the business and also the pressure to grow the people. Because at the end of the day, while this is livelihood, it's also fulfillment. You need to make sure every person get to go out satisfied, fulfilled. And if sometimes there are some situations where there's struggle, you have to also embrace the sufferings and the challenges they have as if they are your own, and then find a way to take them from there to a better path. That's my day in the life.
All right, great. Thank you. So yeah, I love the part how the average day in these partners. Now I can figure out what you're doing, okay, during the daytime. So now next question, Marvin. I know that you like me to ask these questions, and I always like to ask. Okay, talk about Salesforce. So Salesforce professional. Being a Salesforce professional, can you tell me how many certification that you have at the moment under your belt?
Thanks, Adrian. Yeah. I always felt this was one of my keys to success because I really took time. Currently, I do have 23 certifications today. And on top of that, I do have one accredited professional on net zero. And yeah, it just is very comforting for me, like trying to study something very new. And it's a very structured way to learn a new product. So it is therapy for me to get away from all the emails, from all the pressure, from all the meetings, honestly, because I enjoy it. And it's a very streamlined way to know the product. I am system and application architect. I do aspire to become tech arc very soon, and then also growing a lot more on the industry side of things. So right now, comms cloud, and then hopefully energy and utilities and public sector is something that I want to build as well. Yeah, and actually just one more. I wanted to boast or show off my profile pic, the one that on the screen. It's my first time to go to Dreamforce after doing Salesforce for like 13 years. Um, I really had major goosebumps being there. And on that same event, actually, it was an opportunity to hear the latest from Salesforce, even on certifications with Associate coming out. So I've taken that as well. So if you don't have your first certification yet, I do recommend you get that out. It's a good starting point and you'll get addicted to it too. So yeah.
Well, you never stop surprise me with the certification. How many certification you have is just like adding on to the profile. Okay, this brings me to the next question to our Miss Nancy as a recruiter. Okay, so Nancy, I need your help here. So when you are recruiters, you are recruiting for your company. So when you look into candidates, what are the things that you're looking at? Are you looking at persons who can read the email on the first day when coming to works, or you're looking for a person who cooks for the wife and also starting the day meditating, or a person who have as much as possible certification under the belts? What are the things? What are the criteria they're looking at? Okay, what are the things that you look at? Maybe you can tell me a bit about how does company look into candidates? Yeah.
Well, Adrian, it really depends on the level or the type of Salesforce role that we are looking for. We don't normally, find out if that person cooks for their kids in the morning. No, not that. We're looking for someone who has technical skills, who has the certifications, someone who has, relevant or hands-on experience, like what are the projects that they were able to implement, the types of industries they've worked on, other skills, Salesforce related skills that they have experience on, perhaps Salesforce DX, CPQ, Omni Studio, and so on and so forth. So generally, these are the types of or the qualities that we are looking for a candidate.
Okay, so Nancy, so thank you for bringing it up. I bet Ryan and Edwin, they have the credential they have. Only that they're also family men who care for the family as well. But back to your question, back to what you said earlier on. So can I say that credential is very important to showcase that they have the skill sets to do the work? Like just now you mentioned CPQs, like all these things, the credential they earn. Okay, guys, you already heard. Okay, one thing you already jot down. If let's say you're applying a job, make sure you have the credentials. If let's say you don't have the certification, at least get the super badge credentials, or at least mention all your experience that you on that particular expertise they are looking at. Make sure you need to to revise your CVs, your resumes to meet the position that you're applying. Okay, so the best way to do it now, later on after the call, make sure it's appear in your LinkedIn, make sure it appear in your CVs. When you try to apply, we can see that. Okay, don't forget, when I've shared all your detail with the employers, your LinkedIn profile will be there, your Trailblazer profile link will be there. Okay, make sure these two things is there before we share it to the employers. Okay, you want to have that job, you must look good, you must have that skill set. All right, thank you. So the next question that I'm gonna ask is, I think I'm gonna ask a questions where I need Edwin, Ryan, and also Bonnie feedback. So outside, okay, just now we're talking about outside of these training and certifications, what are other role or past experience, okay, or maybe not on Salesforce, what are the past experience that you have when coming to getting the next career? What are the things that prepare you for your next career? For example, you have been joined a lot of company before. What are the transitions period that you prepare yourself? What you do in the transition period in order for you to get ready for your next step? Okay. Do I get that question clear? Right? That's mean how you prepare for your next career move. Okay. In a nutshell, how you prepare for your next career move. Okay. Maybe we started off with Ryan.
Oh, I was just about to say, normally when you do a career move, you need to make sure whether you can still fit your wardrobe, right? Because the tendency is you gain weight while waiting. But kidding aside, I think what's very important is your passion for learning. Salesforce is a technology that is so passionate and closely tied up to learning. I always tell people if you wanna earn more, you have to learn more, no? And then you earn the credentials. So I think for preparing for a career, whether it's Salesforce or not, no, you need to be agile enough to learn and stay relevant because technology is changing. No? Right now we have Genie, back then we have Einstein, analytics and all. No? But right now we also have WCRM. A lot is changing right now. And I think back then we have Salesforce APP, we have Aptus, we have Kaidos, etc. Now we have Velocity, we have Communications Cloud, which is something that also Bonnie is working on. A lot of things are shifting, and therefore our ability to prepare ourselves to stay relevant is very important. No, as mentioned by Adrian a while ago, the market is evolving, and all the economies around the world is changing. There's a big restructuring that's happening, and all we can do right now is to be agile enough to embrace the change by learning. No? They say they cannot take away the knowledge that we earn and that we gain over time. And this knowledge is something so powerful that we can use to be able to adapt to the change. Remember, we cannot actually resist change. No? There's only constant thing in this world. Maybe I think three things that are constant, no, that you cannot get away with. One is debt, because all of us will get into that. The second one is tax, because we cannot actually evade it. Or maybe we can, I don't know, but we cannot. And then the last one is actually change, because whether we like it or not, things will change. Even Salesforce will change. But the good thing is, if we are learning and learning and learning, whatever we get from that enablement will help us adapt and make it for our next career move. So I think that's the core part. No? But one thing I want to inject also, Adrian, is your past experiences are also forming like a puzzle of who you will be or how you will be, no? And how you will be able to adapt. No? Like for example, if once upon a time you're into technology and you love critical thinking, analytical thinking, logical thinking, and you love development, that will help out. No? If you want to become a Salesforce developer, if you have been into object-oriented programming, then definitely that's an easy path for you. If you are like me, you love talking a lot, and also you have writing, you want asking questions, you can be like Irwin. No? You can be a business analyst, get all of those information, write them, groom the user stories, and guide the team to be able to create the solution, right solution. If you are like Bonnie, no, all around, but of course Bonnie is passionate about architecture, passionate about fixing things, passionate about new stuff, and also very good, no, in terms of everything. So I think you can take that path, no? Or if you love people, you have growing, and you're passionate about well, recruitment, for example, then you can be like Macy. You know? So a lot of things that we have experienced in the past will actually form part of how we want it to be or who we want it to be in the future. And that's my short answer. No? Short answer for a guy who loves talking a lot. Thanks, Adrian.
Erwin?
I'll try to make mine shorter. Well, I will continue with what Ryan said. All the experiences you've had in the past can work to your advantage if you really know just how to pick this all up to move forward. And the question was, how do you prepare? I would honestly say that I did not prepare, but my previous experiences prepared me for this. Uh, um, it's not a secret that I was in the BPO industry for a very long time before joining Salesforce. So critical thinking, troubleshooting, that helped me a lot. And during my time in the BPO, I also was able to move up one step. I was able to lead a team of people, and that taught me how to interact with both uh, people who do the work and the clients who wants the work done. So you learn your negotiation skills through that. And second thing that I'd like to mention again on learning, um, true to what Ryan said, Salesforce is continuously evolving. There's so much to learn, and talking to the tech support peeps on the call right now, you might say that you've only done Salesforce for uh 2-3 years, and all you have is the admin and the advanced admin cert. Uh, I've recently interviewed a candidate who only had 2 certifications, admin, and advanced admin, and probably around a year's worth of actual work in Salesforce. But what made this person stand out is that she had 12, let me repeat that, 12 super badges. Do you know how difficult, how time consuming one super badge can be? This person had 12. That to me spoke volumes. This person loves learning. This person will do what it takes to learn. And if you give this person a job to work on, this person will do whatever it takes to learn the job and do well. And that candidate that I recently interviewed also on her own will joined developer study groups that are not even the ones that we set up here in the Philippines. She sought out developer groups where she can learn through others teaching development. So one big factor is the hunger and the real enthusiasm to learn the platform. So um, if you have that, you've got a long way to go in the Salesforce ecosystem.
Okay, I would like to take this as one of this to answer one of question that posted up from our Q&A here. He asking, is it really to need to hands-on experience to be hired even for a junior administrator? I really want to learn more about platform. Unfortunately, I only have my certification for admin without experience since Salesforce being pulled out. So my answer, okay, before I think Edwin just now have a very good answer. To these attendees, I would say that yes, you need the hands-on experience, okay, but how to get it? I know that some people, when they pass the exam, they might still lack of hands-on experience. Like what Erwin said earlier on, Super Badge is one of the things that you can test on your hands-on, because by looking into Super Badge, by doing it hands-on, okay, it show you that you have the real world skill sets. That's means the hands-on skill set that people aren't. Okay, if let's say I am employers, when I see that you have the Super Badges, I will consider hire you because you do know how to hands-on. That is my answer. Maybe other panelists, you have any input to justify what, or maybe to answer these questions that our attendees are asking?
Adrian, maybe I'd like to add on. Also just building on top of what Erwin mentioned earlier on having strong soft skills, for example, and actually knowing the value of what you already know. Because having the soft skills is thinking on your feet. So if you are able to represent yourself very well on an interview, for example, maybe I mean, you are not yet experienced, but you do have those super badges. So you have to be able to articulate what's the value of those super badges are, because that will show, that will show the interviewer how you think critically. And you may not know directly what the answer to the question of the interviewer is, but your thought process, how you think critically in a very difficult situation, that will show that person that if you are put in a difficult situation, you know your way around and you know how to navigate and look for help. So yeah.
Sorry, I'm mute. Thank you, Marvin. So I really appreciate the answers. So we have another questions. This is a very good questions. Okay, in terms of like hirers meeting the demands of their what they expected, because he say here, he's a 5 years Salesforce user. He applied for entry Salesforce developer role and attend 5 interviews so far, but advised that they need experience with actual development experience in previous work. Okay, at the moment, this our candidate here have 3 certification, 5 super badges, and also have personally apps built and can code. So his advice is how he can leverage on what currently he has to employers' requirement, which is like the experience in actual development experience. If let's say he's still facing this with all these certification, with all these super badges, and also with the skills of person apps, what should he leverage in order to get a shot?
Can I answer that?
Yep.
I think this one is related to the prior question, like the administrator who has all the certifications but couldn't do it because there's no hands-on experience. I think it's the same way here. No? You have the credential and you know you can do it, and you have been a user, so you're familiar with the platform. But of course, no, the challenge is you don't have the practical experience to prove that you can really do the job. No? And therefore, what can you leverage? Based on experience when I'm hiring, you need to be able to project. No, there's a lot of ways as a new person in a new technology to present and show gravitas. No, meaning you when you talk, there's substance and conviction with what you say. No, the total package, as I may say. No, part of I think the program that we have for all of you is to make sure that we're able to get to write your CV better. We're able to talk and present, pitch yourself better as well. And at the same time, when you answer questions better, no? Because if there's no way for you to validate the proficiency in actuality, then you refer to the soft skills, like what Bonnie mentioned. No? You get to articulate and be conversant with the technology. And at the same time, you should be able to express the value of, like, for example, if you have 3 certifications or you have 5 super badges, you should be able to state the value and the context of what you have built from within, and what you have learned, and how you will be able to apply it on the job. Because I guess this is very difficult. Now I have had this situation where even I get difficulty deploying people to clients because the client will say I needed someone, someone junior because of maybe cost efficient option, but I also wanted them to have 2 years experience. But of course, when you produce new people now, they need the experience, and for them to gain experience and to deploy them, and you're not able to deploy them, it's difficult. It's a cycle, no, of being a cycle of impossibility. No? So what we normally would do as on the side of hiring is to assess something else. No, leverage the com skills, leverage the critical thinking on other items, leverage the how smart the person is, and lastly, same as what Erwin mentioned a while ago, leverage how sincere and committed the person is in further learning. Because when you get to see someone who has obtained this credential, and when they talk, you can really feel it. And when they actually tell you that they can do it, you can sense that they can really do it. Then most of us hiring managers would say, "I'm gonna get you." And I think it's very difficult to just put the criteria, but all you need to do is really prepare, and at the same time skill up, learn. So then when you speak, you become conversant. Now there's a difference between being conversant, meaning you can because you know and you understand, versus just mastering it, reading it, and memorizing, and then trying to, how do you call this one, fake it till you make it. Now maybe you'll be successful on that side, but it's better if you're conversant and truly you understand the value that the platform is offering and what you can offer to the person interviewing you or hiring.
Okay.
That's another short answer.
Yeah. I would like to add on something, because based on my executive research, prior to joining Salesforce, I was in executive research firms. Usually when we have these interviews with people, when they mention that the requirements, so sometimes in order to convince these employers or the recruiters, okay, even the recruiters to hire us, we need to ask them back questions. Okay, when they mention about experience in actual development experience, tell us what are the things that you're looking at, what are the skills. For example, ask them what are the actual experience that they want to look at. Okay, maybe by asking this question, when they say, "Oh, I might need you to use this development, whether you have done this part, the flow or anything," maybe you already know that. Okay, at the same time, when they say about it, I mean, they mention this, when you can articulate what they say and tell them what are the skills that you can do, or what you, in another way, you already show them that you know how to do the works. Okay, sometimes don't be surprised. Sometimes some JD they just copy and paste. So in fact, they when they copy it, they just put 5 years, but in the end, actually they just want it to know the person who know how to do this part of work. It's not number of years. Some people have 5-year experience, but they still can't do the work. So the thing is better when during the interviews, ask questions, what actually the skills that they want, and then if let's say you're able to articulate, able to answer that, I believe you can nail the job. Okay, there's one thing that I want to emphasize on. Okay, same goes to another question they're asking about, like when companies say that they are entry levels, they're expecting a number of years of experience. There's two ways of looking at it. One, they might looking for those who have working experience, okay, on that role, but for Salesforce product, maybe it's an entry level. Okay, for example, executive, sales executive, they might look into people who are seasoned in doing corporate sellings, but you maybe have like just an entry experience on Salesforce is okay. Yeah, they only want somebody who has 2 to 3 years doing corporate sales, but on the Salesforce product, they know that they can pick up that. So this is something they're looking at. And of course, some of these cross-skilling is possible. If let's say maybe, okay, for example, Salesforce, okay, for Salesforce role, maybe they want you have this developer experience in maybe in Java, in Dynamics, in other cross-skill to Salesforce, whereas you might have a developer experience for 2 to 3 years, but you are new to Salesforce. Maybe you have less than 6 years, as 6 months paid Salesforce experience. This is something that they might looking at. So there's a thing. They don't. It's not like something that they want you like already have 2 to 3 years Salesforce experience. Okay. Of course, if let's say they can have that, it's good. But when they put it into like a new entry for Salesforce, but with a 2 to 3 year working experience, maybe it's referring to your working experience, which might not straight away related to Salesforce, but in showing that you have capability of that soft skills or some of the sales skills that they're looking at. Okay, hopefully answer that questions. Or maybe to have the real person answer it, maybe Nancy, do you have any like when people comes to applying Salesforce role, when you mention it's entry level, but at the same time looking to 2 to 3 years working experience, is this something like what I mentioned earlier on, or you're looking like I need you to be 2 to 3 Salesforce experience? Okay, maybe you can answer. Advice on this.
Yeah, well, definitely for experienced Salesforce professionals, no, we're really looking into someone who has, particular years of experience. But for example, in our company, we are very much open to accepting or hiring fresh graduates or entry levels or career shifters, whatever you call it, who has, minimal to, so from zero to minimal knowledge in Salesforce. So it's one of the initiatives that we do in order to grow our Salesforce team, so that we won't, recruit outside. If that's the case for the question, we do have exams for you to answer, and that is based on the Trailhead module. So basically, we created this trail mix for inexperienced Salesforce applicants. And then when we see that, that person is capable of delivering the project, then we can, take a chance on them.
Okay, so you see, it's still based on your actual skills. It's built on your assessment during the interview. So when come to interview, you grab that. Don't take it as a one floor traffic. Always ask questions. Always ask how to prove that I can do the work. Okay, so it's always good to ask these questions. Okay, guys, before we go to the look at time, before we go to the last question again, I know that some of you just joined, okay, and then just to recap, this session is all about you, helping you to get to your next job or your first job in the Salesforce ecosystem. Okay, you can see there's a form that I just shared in the chat. Okay, at the same time, there's a QR code that appearing in the slide here. So this is where you can fill out all your details about yourself, and also what the skill set you have. It's just like a living resume where you put all this in. The reason why we asking for a detail is we're gonna share these details, okay, with all the employers in Philippines who are hiring for Salesforce professionals. Okay, we want you to get a job. Okay, if let's say this is your first job, we hope that you will land your first job in the Salesforce ecosystem. If let's say you're looking for a career break and looking for new opportunities, this is a place that we're going to connect you with your next opportunities. We want to help. We want to grow Philippines together with all these amazing trailblazers we're having here. We are here to support you. We're here to support the ecosystem. We are here to help you out. Okay, so before we're gonna close this session, I want an advice. Okay, for those from Trailblazer, for those who are looking for the next opportunities, whether it is first or next one, what is your final advice for them to prepare them, okay, in order for them to get ready? I would like to start it off with Nancy first, because Nancy, you know, okay, if let's say, okay, I put in this very open, okay, if they come past the recruiter, I don't think their CV will pass to the manager or the employers. In order to pass the recruiter, which is you in specific, what are the things that you want to see in their CVs or in their resume in order for you to qualify them for the next round? Okay, can you share with us?
Yeah, okay. So if your CV is not, or your profile is not compelling, then what we can look at is just like what I believe Ryan or Erwin mentioned earlier, your initiatives, your own initiatives. So apart from learning from different companies or researching about Salesforce, are there any actual initiatives that you do for you to upskill yourself? Like, do you do trailhead? Do you participate in the Salesforce community initiatives or events? Have you built your network within the ecosystem, and generally trying to learn from other Salesforce professionals? Because even if you are a newbie or a Salesforce experienced professional, we are very much interested to get to know or hire someone who really possess these kinds of qualities, meaning to say the candidate is proactive, is someone who is proactive.
Okay, proactive. So guys, you hear when they say proactive, you need to earn your credentials. You need to put you need to put the effort, right? Every effort's paid. So you need to put the efforts to make your resume look good. How to make your CVs look good and resume look good? Make sure your trailhead profiling is there. Make sure you have the right credential. If not, how you gonna justify why should a person hire a person without a credential and without any knowledge on Salesforce over a person who already have that? Okay, so you need to justify. You need to ask yourself, if let's say I'm a manager, why should I hire myself? Okay, why should I hire you? Okay, do you have the things that you want? We want. Okay, so you need to make sure your CV looks good. In order for your CV to looks good, you need to have the credential. You need to have any related experience. Or if let's say you participate in communities event, okay, put it in, right? If let's say you coming with just a non-related Salesforce CVs, I would say that you might be landing at the bottom of all CVs. Okay, no hard feelings, but that is somehow how we look at it. Okay, so you need to make your show look good. Oh, okay. Now we already hear from recruiters. Recruiter already tell you, if let's say now you pass the recruiters, now you go to the managers like Erwin, like Ryan, like Bonnie. Now managers, what are the things that you are looking at when coming to CVs, or what are the things that you look at when you qualify a person to join your team? Maybe we start with Bonnie. Bonnie, can you start first?
Sure, sure. For me, if there is one statement that will help you, it is know your brand. By saying know your brand, you should understand what your strength is. There's a lot of things that you can do on Salesforce, but what can make you stand out is know where you're good at, because that's what will make your employer hire you. Um, and then make sure you have supporting facts to build your credibility on your CV, just so on black and white, it already shouts that you are a very valuable employee to employ. So make sure you have supporting details to what you think you are strong at. And then at the same time, have a good talk track when you have that interview. Because I guess one indicator that you can think of if you're doing good in an interview is if the interviewer is spending a lot more time talking on an interview, you better be a little bit alarmed, because that person is trying to understand who you are. The interview is supposedly somewhere that you're telling that person what you're good at. So they will hire you. They'll be compelled to hire you because you're good at something. Again, if there's one thing that I can give a piece of advice on, it's do your homework and know what's your specialization. Know your brand.
Yes, do your homework. Erwin, how about you? What are the things that you look at when a person joining your team?
Well, a quick review of the CV really tells a lot. And to your point, I look for the LinkedIn profile. I look for the trailblazer.me profile, because that already gives you a sneak peek at how enthusiastic they are with learning. So people would say, I've been doing Salesforce for 2 years, uh, answering tickets, and then you look at their trailhead um, profile and see just what a mountaineer, or just a few badges earned. So it doesn't jive. So after looking at the resume, and also please make sure that when you put Salesforce jargon, Salesforce terms in your CV, make sure you know how to back it up. Okay. Uh, I won't mention a name, but there was once this CV that had um, sealed. I'll spell it out. SEALED. Sealed. Sealed service lightning. That really bothered me. So please, you don't need to put in so many terms if you can't back it up. But if you do know these things, please do put them in, so that we'd have a better conversation during the interview. And during your interviews, I'm looking for someone who is enthusiastic, not shying away from questions, because we want to know what you know. Okay. During interviews, I guide candidates to share with us what they know, what they already know. And specifically for our group, we want someone who knows how to troubleshoot. Okay. Someone who knows how to look for errors and how to fix things. And I don't know why I have to say this, but know your Salesforce basics. Know your Salesforce fundamentals. If you want to further your career in Salesforce, know your fundamentals, and be confident about those. Talk to us. Don't shy away in conversations. You don't have to talk in straight English if the language is preventing you from communicating your point. Feel free. speak in Filipino, speak in Tagalog. We want to know what you know, not your comm skills, unless you're applying for a BA job, which you will need very good comm skills. But then again, so again, to adding to what Bonnie said, know what you're good at and put that best foot forward.
Just be yourself. Don't con.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Last word from Mr. Ryan here before we call it that sessions. Ryan.
So I'll try to make it short. But so Erwin, if you see Market Cloud or Server Cloud or Salesforce two words, then definitely you say, hey. But I guess to me, I check 4 items now. Again, you're done with the recruiter, you pass, yay, and then now you're on to another set of interview or screening. So normally, I agree with everyone. You check the CV, you check how it was written, and the skills. No, because you check the CV for skills. Like if it's for a developer, then definitely you would want them to see whether they have object-oriented programming experience, Java, JavaScript, or whatnot. No? And if they are BA, they may have had some relevant experience dealing with customers, client-facing, comms, etc. Or if they are admins, they may have had some other technology, but admin role. No? They are dealing with user access management, etc. Configuration, basic configuration. So those are the things that we would do, no? Just to validate, because sometimes when some applicants, no, medyo they can also be good in writing their CVs. So the next level after you check the CV is to actually put them on a call. No, the next one is I put them on a call, and then I check 2 things when I put them on a call. First is I validate what's on the CV, whether there's consistency and if they can really communicate or articulate well what's on the CV. Second thing is their attitude. I think to me the attitude is non-negotiable. No? If I get somebody who's really really good but I mean, meaning bad attitude, you can sense it, no? The way they answer, the way they speak, they join a call late, no? Which sometimes I did that also, joining late. So I have a bad attitude when I was younger. So I checked those. And then lastly, I checked for endorsement and validate network, meaning it was mentioned by Irvin, no? I checked LinkedIn. Because when you check LinkedIn, no? And this is something, a tip for some people like, hey, I don't have the experience, but I'm really good in other technology and I'm shifting to Salesforce and I'm good. What you can do and leverage is actually your network. No? If you're active in the Salesforce community, then you can get endorsement. That's plus factor. If you're part of the community, then we can see you there. Then you're active, then we can see that as well. And if you check on your LinkedIn, make sure you invest time on it. No? You write a good CV, but you forget about your LinkedIn. Maybe you reconsider now updating your LinkedIn, put all of your certifications, etc. So, 4 things, no? CV, and then I do the interviews where I validate 2 things, no? The attitude and also the skills that were written on the CV. And then lastly, the network, no? You check LinkedIn. Maybe sometimes they check on Facebook too. So you have to somehow, whatever you put online, it reflects you. No? So we also have to be careful or maybe just set it private if you don't want other people to check on it. No? And I think on me, those are the things that I check. But sometimes, this is one tip. Sometimes you see an applicant where you feel upfront you wanted that applicant, no? Not because of the looks, no? Some people will say, oh, Miss Universe style or Mr. Philippine style, so I like that guy. But it's more of when you see the person, there's something, no? The aura and when they talk,
Chemistry.
then yeah, like maybe sometimes when I see my face in the mirror, I said, hey, just kidding. No? I think those 4 things focus. No? The CV, prepare for your interview, show good attitude. And then lastly, your LinkedIn and the network, get endorsement, get as much recommendation because it will help, no? Especially during background investigation or checking. And that's it. No? And I wish you all the best.
All right, guys, look at time. So we are almost out of time. So again, I would like to thank the panelists for giving their inputs. I think this is very, very insightful for all of you to share, especially I love that Nancy been giving a lot of these feedbacks on how they look into CVs as a recruiters. Okay, so next slide. So guys, so you already, in order for prepare you to better, okay, please again please fill out the form. Okay, before we connect you, please fill out the form. Okay, and for us to connect you with the hiring organization. The next thing you need to do, okay, or of course, we'll share these details after our call. In fact, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow onwards, we'll be sharing this to all our selected Talent Alliance partners. Okay, those who are pledged to hire, they'll be having all these details. Okay, so again, next page, please. Okay, now remember, if let's say after today you see that, oh, you just get to know that credential is very important, get yourself your next credential before you attend your interviews. Okay, go to Trailhead, test any super badge set, okay, or even test the normal badge, get it. All right. If let's say you're applying a next job who are not on your current skill set, maybe you want to try to admin job, builder job, billing specialist or CRM, go to Trailhead, get your credential, because we're gonna see your credential from your profiling. Okay. And with that, I hope that we have a great 1 hour session. I just realized 1 hour is not enough. So next time we need to do more. Okay, we will do more, especially with Ryan around. We need more time. Okay, not to pull your leg. Okay, guys, I've been enjoying these sessions with all these trailblazers. Hopefully, we're gonna have the next one very soon. And again, I would like to emphasize this session is for you. We want you to get your next job. But in order for us to help you equip yourself in terms of a better CVs, with credentials, with all the skill set you need, then hopefully you'll get a success on the next interview. Okay, thank you everyone. And then those who are in the community group, this will be shared under the Philippine, the recording will be shared under the Philippine group. Okay, we will share with Erwin and the rest so that you can post in the group. Okay, thank you and have a great